welcome back.
What is up, guys and fam? This is episode
number two.
Let's
go.
Number 2.
Woo-woo.
Thanks to everybody who joined us on the first episode. The reaction has been great. We highly appreciate it. I wasn't expecting that big of a response, to be honest with you.
I was so surprised, but so thankful at everyone that supported, showed love. We love you guys.
It's been great, and all the feedback. Like we said, we weren't expecting any followers, to be honest with you. So the fact that you guys have been so interactive with us has been great. Our YouTube went up. That's awesome. Our Spotify, we had some hits on Spotify, so that's cool. You know, I think we're cruising around 4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
But it's been good. It's been cool.
Yeah, just go check us out and subscribe.
Please
sure.
Go hit that like and subscribe to our channels and the notifications too to let you guys know when new episodes drop. I need coffee this morning. Did you already drink coffee?
I had coffee this morning already. I'm having some water now.
I'm drinking my black coffee.
Trying to get my H2O in.
I drink my coffee.
I'm really bad at it.
I drink my coffee black. Just straight up.
Well, with sugar.
With sugar too. Yeah. I feel like it hits harder.
Oh, it does.
You know?
Yes.
I'm trying to stay away from.
You're not
drinks.
What is it? Toning it down or something?
Yeah, I guess like watering it down.
Watering it down,
or creaming it down.
Yeah, because I do creamer and sugar.
Creamer and sugar. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. The creamer gets.
I
need
the flavor. But yeah, black coffee is like, if you're trying to get going, that's the way to go for sure.
And going and speaking of going,
where are we going?
Well, we're going to start by having you do some stretches first because...
here we go.
So my wife in the mornings, everything hurts her. She pulled her back. You pulled something in your foot.
Yes.
I mean, how old are you? I should probably not ask that. That's not a gentleman thing to do. But how old are you?
I'm going to be 30.
30. Okay? She hasn't even really hit prime, to be honest with you.
Next month, 30.
And she's living in a 60-year-old body. I don't get it.
I don't get it either, okay? I really don't.
Everything hurts you. Like...
I know. I pulled my back, yesterday?
I think it was the day before.
I don't know,
yesterday.
but it really hurt. And just like sitting or standing, I felt it. I was like, what in the world is going on? And then I feel like it's like a tendon in my foot or something. But when I just like tilt it or angle it a certain way, I feel it. It's not like constant, but
and it's the most random things that she pulls.
Whatever.
It's like her finger hurt. It's like
send me
you live
stretches,
in an 80-year-old body, but you're so young. Yeah, you gotta stretch it out. So
our age is like we should swap bodies,
which is
apparently.
crazy. Yeah, because I'm so much older than her. I'm 41.
Yeah.
Okay, and I feel good. I mean, once in a while I'll cough
for you.
I'll be like, my back.
Come on. Sometimes you will wake up in the morning and just turn your neck, and then you're out of work for like 2 weeks.
For the most part,
so
I'm solid.
Yeah.
I think it was yesterday morning. We were in bed, and she wakes up, and she thinks I'm sleeping. I close my eyes, and I could see her kind of looking at me because prior to that, I mentioned, before you get out of bed, you should probably give yourself a little stretch, give yourself a little something. And I'm pretending like I'm sleeping. So she looks at me and she looks forward and she kind of looks around the room and she starts to literally do her little stretches. And
I was like bending like a pike position. I was like trying to like stretch out my back and like.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she looks back over at me and there I am with my eyes wide open.
He's staring at me and I giggle.
I see you.
And gave him kind of like a thumbs up, like, see, I'm trying here,
Little by little.
Whatever. We'll get there.
So it snowed. A lot.
It snowed so much.
A lot.
It's so gorgeous outside.
It's crazy. I think we got about 6 to 8 inches, like they said. I think they were forecasting for lower. It was like 4 or something, but we got a lot more than what they expected. It's pretty cool. I've never seen that much snow before.
No, and it's like different snow. Like, I have never been on the East Coast or Southeast, anything like that in the winter. So to see the snow, I feel like it's different snow.
It was. Even the texture, everything about it.
I feel like it's like real snow.
Yeah. It was
when California we would get.
Yeah, well, in California,
man-made snow. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
It snowed, and it would be gone like within a few hours too. I mean, and it looked like it would.
And
dump.
It would barely even really dump though. Like we would see patches of
you
the
still
grass
see the patches.
still.
Here we woke up and everything was covered. It was insane.
We couldn't even see the road. Like it was
Well,
Literally a winter wonderland.
they legit closed down pretty much our
Everything.
town. Yeah,
Everything
like
closed.
stores were
Yeah.
closed down, roadways were closed down. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's
We were
like,
supposed to have church today too, and
that was closed down.
yeah, they did only
Yeah,
online.
it was only
So,
online.
well, what about it's cold over here, but what about the West Coast?
Oh man, so
Yeah.
dude, you guys
They are on fire.
In California, man. Mad prayers out to you guys. That is absolutely wild
That's
and
crazy,
sad.
honestly.
Yeah, I mean, to have that kind of fire and that destruction has just been unreal. I think it's the third biggest wildfires that California has ever seen.
On the news this morning, they said it was over 22,000 acres on fire.
22,000 acres. Unreal. And is it even contained right now? Is there any kind of containment?
I don't know if it's more. Last time I saw it was like 11%,
11%.
which is nothing.
But the winds picked up again, I heard.
Yes, they're saying they're picking
right?
up today, tomorrow, something like that.
That is
yeah.
crazy. I mean, shout out to the firefighters and all the first responders out there.
Amazing people
I
that
mean,
have helped.
The bravery and
the government.
and the sacrifice that you guys have put in has been incredible. Yeah, a lot more than our actual government has.
Yeah,
put
like
in.
thank God for these firefighters, first responders,
Right.
Literally just civilians that are helping, with the animals, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and that's another thing is that a lot of people are like, oh, the homes and stuff, but all of the animals and stuff. You know, they go,
it's very
Malibu
sad.
has a lot of like farmage, horses and people with a lot of animals, and it's been crazy to evacuate them.
I'm curious, if we had to evacuate, what would you take? Like, what would be on your first thing? Like, okay, we gotta take.
It's a
I've
good
never thought
question.
of that. Really.
Good question. Obviously, like the most valuable and whatever we can put in backpacks.
Yeah. So they say it's like the 6 P's or something.
Okay, so what are those?
So it's
6
like
Ps?
people,
Okay.
pets, phone numbers, passports, like documents.
Right.
Yeah, I don't really know the other two though.
Oh, you might want to get on that. I would definitely grab that and then whatever else could fit in the car. Man, nothing retained on that one. Yeah, but yeah, the fires.
Yeah,
The fires.
so sad.
How insane. And I mean, it's been a little conspiracy-ish too,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
They have no water because
been
of a
little
fish.
weird. Yeah, so I heard that the governor Newsom has not allowed them to pull from certain reservoir areas because there's a fish that's not even extinct
Right.
or going extinct.
Meanwhile,
And I heard the reservoir for the water, fire hydrants and stuff were actually like empty. Like they couldn't get to water. I can't believe that.
horrific.
I just don't get it.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, not to
And
get
a place to be that's well known for wildfires, things like that, I feel like we should be more prepared for this kind of stuff.
Right, that's my thing is that they literally have fires every single year. I mean, Malibu, I feel like burns down all the time. It may not be to this extreme.
Right. Like this is probably one of the worst, right?
It's a known thing. Yeah, it's the third biggest fire in California history. But regardless, it burns down all the time. California is known for they have a fire season. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
A fire season and you guys still aren't prepared for this? I mean, that is mind-boggling to me. I don't understand that.
I really don't understand it either.
And not to get into politics, but the leadership there, I don't know.
I know.
It's to be questioned,
they
I think.
said that they were preparing for these winds and for possible chances of fire because of these winds. So why was the LA mayor in Ghana? Like, if you knew this was going to happen, you should have been there. We should have already had some kind of preparation going on.
And not even like, I mean, even when she came back, I saw on the news they were asking her questions and she just stayed mute, almost
straight up ignored.
I mean, I
can't even get an apology.
That sometimes they ask you to stay quiet on certain subjects and they wait for the PRs and all that, but I don't know, as a leader of
and just a human being.
Correct.
Like, you just can't say you're sorry for those people.
What's in your heart and how you feel for these people. You can relate to them and I don't know, give them some kind of sympathy, some kind of feeling like they're not alone. That is unreal to me that she could just sit there blank and not say one thing. I mean,
that was
bad. That was
a statement if I've ever
100%.
not seen a statement. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And then Gavin, I mean, Newsom, shoot. I don't even know if I'm getting touchy with
He
that,
should have
but
been
I don't see
recalled in
anybody
2022.
right siding with that guy.
Yeah.
That is just unreal. His whole leadership, and he has failed California
And I think a
for
lot of
years now.
people that honestly have supported him and all of that, I think are realizing right now as well that
I hope so, because
yeah.
this was a big one, I think, for California, and some
Right.
eyes have been opened, if not already, but even more so now, because that was bad.
That was
really
bad.
bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, again, shout out to those firefighters and those first responders, because it's been crazy. I mean, I think they sent even Mexico sent some people over.
Yep.
That's pretty crazy.
Yep. And I know Texas sent some of their firefighters over too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's putting in their 2 cents, so prayers out to California, man, and we hope you guys are staying safe. I know that there's all sorts of links and stuff to donate and to help out, and I think they have little spots where you can donate even animal food and stuff like that,
Yes.
to help them out. So
Clothes, anything. It
whatever
doesn't
you
have
guys
to
can
be
do
like
with that,
yeah.
that'd be great. So what else? What else do you have in store for them today?
Well,
What has gone on?
maybe we should let them like get to know how we met
Oh boy. Okay.
and kind of like a little bit into that world, I guess. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I guess let's get into that one. Tell them, how did we meet? Or would you like me to start? You start.
Okay. So I met Joe when I was 21. And I didn't know him or like anyone he hung out with because at that time he was 32.
Right. So that's a pretty big age gap, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when we did finally meet at his house, he had like a little kickback thing going on with like a couple of his friends.
Little kickback.
And we had like a mutual friend
Right.
that was really kind of closer to him than me. I kind of knew her from like
That's
out
right.
and about. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she invites me over and I'm like, okay, sure, let's go. So I go and he's there. But little backstory, I guess.
Oh boy.
When I was going out and about a lot with this mutual friend, she continually like was poaching him at me. Like, oh, oh, there's this guy, his name's Joe. You should you should hang out with him, all that kind of stuff, right? And I'm like, okay, I wasn't really into it because I was doing my thing. 21, we're
doing your thing.
partying it up. I was just doing that. I didn't really.
What was your thing?
Well, I was just kind of going out and about with like my girlfriends, hanging out. I was also going to school. I was
in the streets.
Yes, basically.
Okay.
And I will say she told me like 3 months before I actually met him about him. And then 3 months later, I want to say it was around that time because I had just turned 21 and I was a bat out of hell going around town, right?
Right.
And that was in February, and I didn't meet you until
it was summertime because I think
the beginning of July.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But she told me about you like pretty soon, I want to say, because when I turned 21 and I went out, I want to say she was around kind of immediately, I think.
How did you guys meet?
We had a mutual friend.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Who was her, like she was friends with her, and then my good friend was really good friends with this person as well.
Okay.
I'm not trying
We
to
should probably
throw names
label
out.
them like a friend A, friend B, or some aliases because
You're like,
we don't want to name drop.
confusing.
I'm getting lost in all the friends and mutual friends, but okay.
What?
Let's just call the friend who was trying to hook me up with you, friend A. Okay, so you guys know friend A. All right, moving on.
So so friend A was like, oh my gosh, you should meet my friend Joe. And I was like,
and what did she say? Like, I'm curious. How did she
I don't know. I was
introduce-
drinking and stuff
You were drinking. Oh man, this gets better. She met me on a drunken stage. No, I'm just playing.
So we would go out, right? And it was, like late at night, we'd be hanging out and all this stuff. And I want to say like 3 specific times that I remember her telling me about you.
Mm-hmm.
And it was more of like where you work, who you are, like,
Okay.
he's really cool. And I don't even remember if I asked her, like, how does he even know who I am? Because me and you, friend A,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have pictures together.
No.
We don't hang out often
No.
at all. I don't understand how he would even know who I am for you to then approach me about him. Or unless maybe in my head I just thought, oh, it's a friend of hers, and maybe she sees that I'm single, he's single. Maybe she's trying to like match made, like do that kind of situation.
Nope.
So on your end, that's what was happening to me. She just kept telling me about you.
So I'm curious if she mentioned to you, obviously, once I said something, and then that kind of got her in the rhythm of starting to get, lure me to you, or it's not the right word, but to, start talking about me to you. So I was having a small little kickback at my house, and like she said, it was around summertime, and I had probably like 4 or 5 buddies there. And we had like this bar island area, and she was looking through her Snapchats, and we were all kind of hovering around, and one of your Snapchats came through.
No. I was in her Snapchat.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So she was scrolling through her Snapchats, and she was in the Snapchat.
I was in the Snapchat.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and it was from like I don't know if it was a prior time or if it was what it was, but either way, she was in it. So the Snapchat doesn't start with her.
I know exactly what Snapchat you're talking about.
It
by
was
the way,
her at a table, and I think it was
were Schooners.
Schooners, yeah.
Yes.
And it was just a bunch of people, and she pops in. I mean, like for a second, like she just pops into the frame, and then she's out of the frame. But as she popped through the frame, and it goes away, I told her, I'm like, wait. Go back. Who was that? And she's like, who? So she goes about 3 back, and then so I finally get to it again, and we hold it down. You can hold it, and I'm like, her. Who is that? And then she told me your name, and I was like, she is beautiful. I'm gonna marry that girl one day. And what started as a joke, it's crazy. I mean, it was love at first sight, like literally for me. I told her, I was like, I'm gonna marry that girl one day, and she starts laughing. She goes, oh my gosh, you're ridiculous or whatever, and so I told her, I was like, what can you do to get her over? Get me a meeting with her. Get me on a date with her. Get me something. I just need to talk to this girl.
Connect us somehow.
Yeah, connect us somehow so that I can talk to her for 2 seconds. And well, I had been single at this point for like 2 years. I had taken some time for myself. I was just kind of at that point, I was getting really hardcore into spending time with my kids, and I just needed a break from everything. So I wasn't really looking for anything at all. I was just enjoying. I had just got my skydive license. I was doing a lot of extreme things. I was rock climbing. I was going all over to go rock climbing. I was skydiving a bunch of places. I was really doing that with my friends. And so I had no interest at all whatsoever to date or do any of it. I was just kind of enjoying life for what it was. And she comes across and destroys all of that. Like instantly I was like, whoa, okay, I got to talk to this girl. And so she did. I want to say a few weeks. I mean, some time went by, and I kept bugging her about it. Hey, when are you gonna invite your friend? And she would tell me, well, she's always busy. She's always running amok and stuff. And I didn't care. I was like, somehow, some way, and I threw another kickback. This was around the July.
That's probably when she would tell me about you, and
right.
I was probably like pushing her off.
Oh yeah, you want nothing to do with it.
You're like, well, I was just like, I didn't know you. I didn't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
no, I get it. So, around July time frame comes along, and I ask her again, and this time she tells me pretty much the same thing. She's busy, but little did I know that she had already talked to you, and it was actually a surprise. She invited her to my house, and I had no idea she was coming to my house. Okay, so we're having kind of like a pool party, and wait, was there a pool at that one? No, there was no pool at that house. So we're all hanging out in the backyard. Yeah, we were playing all sorts of games and stuff, and she didn't tell me, and it was kind of a surprise. She did tell me she had a friend coming over. So I was like, yeah, of course, whoever wants to come can come. And a few hours go by, and all of a sudden she says, my friend's here. So I was like, okay, well, go let them in. And she goes inside for a little bit, in about 10 minutes. And right as I'm going to go check up on them, because I noticed that they're missing for a minute, here comes Brittany out my back door. And I'm like, no.
Did you know it was me right away?
Instantly. Instantly. I was like, no way. And then...
And I still didn't know it was your house at this point, by the way.
Oh, really?
No, she hit me up and was like, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, nothing. And she's like, oh, you should come.
Wait, so she didn't tell you?
No.
That she was bringing you to the house of the guy that she's been talking to you about?
No.
No way. Are you serious? I didn't know this whole time.
No. Yeah, she didn't tell me. When I got there, well, first I was like, no, I don't want to go, because I never hung out with her. Like, just me. So I was like, oh, I don't know about this.
I'm finding all this out at the same time you guys are finding out. This is pretty crazy. Okay, go on. This is juicy. I like it.
So then she, I was like, well, send me the address. She sends me the address. And it was in like a gated community. Not saying that there's no killers in a gated community. But I was like, oh, okay, well, it's kind of near my house. It's a gated community. All right, sure. I have nothing else going on. Sure, I'll go. So she was like, come over. And I just don't go places like without like my friend, or I was by myself.
Yeah, understandable, of course.
And I just got out of, because I was in college. So I just had class, and I was coming home. So I was in like just really chill clothes. Like I did not. That's the thing too. I was like, oh man, I feel like I have to go home and change. But at that point, I was like, whatever, because she said, oh, it's just a few friends. It's nothing crazy. Just come. And I was like, okay, fine. So I'm just gonna go the way I look. And then I go, and she meets me out front, and we go like through your side door. Okay. I still don't know at this point, and I'm meeting everybody. I don't even know if, like, when I met you, it was like, oh, this is my house. I don't even honestly remember.
I don't think we even discussed whose house or what. I just was.
But you knew who I was when I got
instantly. Instant.
So then we're just chilling or whatever.
I mean, once I saw you, I still hadn't known that you're right.
Yeah.
When you came out the back door and physically
it was
saw
there.
you,
yeah.
I knew right away.
And then we're just hanging out, and I ask her, I'm like, who's the dude with all the tattoos? And she's like, that's the dude that I was telling you about. And I told her, I said, that's him? What? Why didn't you show a picture? Like, you did nothing. Okay. And then, yeah. And she goes, yeah, that's him. And I was like, okay.
So she never showed you pictures of me? She just talked to you about this guy who was
Not that I can remember.
Okay, well, that would make a little more sense as to why you were kind of like, eh. I mean, I'm not saying that if you saw it. I'm saying, like, it makes sense. If you can't put a face to somebody, you know what I'm saying? You're just like, whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not interested really.
And also, too, I was, like, involved with somebody.
Right.
So it was kind of like, you know what I mean?
Now, were you dating, or did you have a boyfriend at the time?
No. It was like we'd go to a party, and we would, like, hang out.
Okay.
That was really it.
Okay.
And every time we were at the party, that mutual
dude
friend
was there.
He was there. So it's like.
Right.
My mind wasn't, do you know what I'm saying?
It, of course.
And when she's just telling me about somebody, physically this person's here.
Right.
And I know him. I don't know who this person is. I don't really even know you, the friend, like outside of this little circle. So I was just kind of like, I wasn't really like putting, you know what I mean? Like trying to
yeah, of course.
Entertain it, basically.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So then, yes, that happens. And that was... Yeah, I want to say it was like 3 months after she initially was like poaching you at me. Yeah. So what
happened?
Like what, after we met?
Yeah, so you talked to me and what happened?
Yeah, so I mean, he was fine.
We're getting to the old words. Fine. Okay.
So I was like,
you
okay.
Can find yourself.
Thanks. So I was like, okay, like I'm in now. Like, let's do this. Like, homie, who? Yeah, what?
Oh,
you know,
so got pushed to the curb.
Yeah, because it wasn't even like a.
No, I get it.
It was just like a convenient. We're hanging out. Okay, you're there. You know what I'm saying?
I totally know.
So we're at your house. I don't think me and friend A, because we left together. I don't think we left till like 4 a.m.
No, it was
Remember?
late. Yeah, we were playing. What was that game where you
We
throw
played
the?
everything.
We
We played
did.
cornhole. We played King's Cup. We played.
Yeah, everything.
Um,
I mean, we were up all night, and it
yeah.
was like genuine good times. Like it was very easy and smooth and
It was
flowy.
so fun.
Yeah, it was good. Like it was easy to talk to you too.
Yeah, I
There
agree
was
with
like
that.
no effort. Like
No.
at least on my part, I didn't feel like I had to put effort into it. I just felt like it was so natural. Like we just kind of clicked. And it was
Yes.
like boom, boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom, boom.
we definitely did.
From the beginning, like we started talking about G Easy. I couldn't even believe you remember that when
Yes.
I put on G Easy and you're like, wait, what? Like all of that. It was just so nice to finally meet somebody on every like category and level. Just kind of knew you already. You know, it was nice.
But it was strange, like, cause we were like, when I met him, I didn't really know, like, okay, 32, like, what that even
Right.
looked
Was
like. Yeah.
right.
And it just felt like it wasn't, like, we just, like, connected. It didn't.
Which is crazy because when I found out her age too, which was after the fact, that's what's crazy is I didn't even bother. I mean, when I first met you, your maturity and everything was such an old soul. So I
Yeah.
didn't put it together only until after you had left and I told our mutual friend A, hey, okay, this is
Oh,
the
you still didn't know my age?
no.
Oh.
And this is when I said, hey, this is the one. Like I think I fell in love already. And she starts laughing and she tells me, just to let you know, she is 21. And it all kind of came crashing down. I was like, oh, no way. No way. I don't know if I could date a 21-year-old because you were literally, coming into your prime and partying and all that. I was like, she's going to run amok still. And I was looking to settle down with a family already. I mean, I was already, I'm done with the dating process. I'm ready to just find a good girl and just calm down. And so I was super worried. But I couldn't shake the thought of the old soul you were and just how perfect it was. So I was like, I'm gonna give it a try. I'm just gonna see where this goes and what happens. And I think you came over the next day, right?
Yeah, I
And
came
the next
yeah.
day, and the next day.
Yeah.
Okay, so pretty much she came over once, and that was the end of everything. I don't think I ever spent another day without her. As far as like by my choice, every
Right.
time I could, I would spend time with her. The next day she met my parents. Put it that way. Like it was. I had to lock it in real quick. I was like, okay, if I want any chance at this, I got to make this happen. And yeah, that was pretty much it from there on out.
Yeah,
we were
do you
inseparable.
remember when I would go to work, I would go by your house first,
Yeah,
say hi,
yeah.
and
You'd
then
come
go to
say
work.
hi. Yeah, give a little hug, and
Yep.
you'd go to work, and then after work, you'd come by
I'd
still.
come over,
At all sorts of crazy times at night. And mind you, I was working at Northrop, so I was waking up at like 4 a.m. Had to be worked by 5 on base, and we stay up all night talking, hanging out, and it didn't matter. Like, and this went on for a minute, to the point to where you pretty much almost moved in. Her and my mom were hanging out at this point now, watching TV shows, and with my sister, it was insane. Like how fast everything moved.
Yeah, like you would go to bed, and I would just stay downstairs with your mom and sister, and we would watch shows
Right.
all night.
It was it was a very fast moving relationship.
Very fast, yes.
And it scared me. It scared me a bit. I was like,
Fire's going out.
our fire's not doing too good. It's this wood. It's all
It's
all dampness.
Yeah.
But yeah, it moved fast, and one thing led to another. We're married with a kid. How'd your parents feel about all of this?
Oh, they were not thrilled.
They were not happy, huh?
Well, you can imagine.
Well, yeah, I
You know,
can.
your daughter.
Yeah.
And I mean, at first, just like your mom was like, 21? Are you serious? My parents were like, 32, 2 kids.
Right. Are you serious?
You're 21? What?
I remember the day I had to go meet them. It was at Black Angus, I want to say,
Yeah.
the restaurant, right? And
Were you nervous?
yeah, I was nervous. I was literally hoping anything would have a flat tire. My car would catch fire, anything to avoid that day.
Yeah.
Just because, I was like, great, what are they going to ask me? And it was just a million things going through my head. I just want to make a good impression,
Right, of course,
and not
yeah.
make it seem like I was just some dude.
Like a
you know,
scum.
yeah,
Yeah,
scumbag,
right.
or weird, or like, I was like, no, like, I'm genuine, and I just wanted to see them for who I was. So I was super nervous. Your dad was pretty scary. Your dad was scary as hell. Her dad's
He's
like
like
ex-army
intimidating.
military
He's
too.
not, okay.
Yes, and he has a lot of guns, which he reassured me he had over and over. He was scary. He was scary. Your mom was scary too. Your mom was savage. She was just as, I mean, if I were to think, she was ex-military as well.
You are ridiculous.
Maybe CIA, FBI, I don't know, but she definitely fits in the category of your dad. So it's not like how you have one easy parent where the mom's like, oh, hey, welcome, and be nice, honey, to the guy or whatever. No, she was 100% behind, dude, 100% behind him. I mean,
But it wasn't bad
but
though.
they were amazing
Yeah.
people, like genuinely awesome people. Her dad is actually an awesome person, and I actually relate a lot to your dad on a lot of levels. So we definitely clicked after a while, because it did take a minute for your dad. It took
It
him
did, yeah.
like a while.
Um,
I mean, not
no,
forever,
no.
but it took him
After
a
the
minute.
meeting, I think it was fine.
It was
It
before.
took him a
'cause
while
he
to
didn't-
actually.
He actually didn't want to meet me at first, right?
Right. Well, because he didn't know if it was like.
Yeah, he's like, no, I'm not going to
This
do
is-
this.
yeah.
This is nothing, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it took him a minute to meet me. And you're right. After he met me, it's the waters weren't smooth.
And
but
I will
they
say
subsided.
too, before you and my previous relationship, I think he kind of already was kind of like, what is wrong with you? To me, like, you were dating this dude who is
No bueno.
scum, basically. And then now you're gonna date a guy that's much older. Like he's just, I don't think he
Like, what do you
understood.
do, my girl?
Yes, yeah.
No, I get it.
Which is totally understandable. But I think that's where his head was at with that, because the boy before you too, he did not.
Wasn't a fun or
No, neither of my parents liked him.
really, yeah. I mean, I wasn't the best of guys too. To at first, I mean, I went through my stuff. But that's why when I met you, everything changed. I was like, look, God, if this is meant to be, and you'll let it go in the right
Yeah.
direction, I promise.
Well,
I will be the best human on earth. And I'm nowhere near the best human on earth, but damn, did a lot change. You definitely changed my
well,
life.
it's funny because like with your mom,
Mm-hmm.
when she first met me, well, she had pre-notations, pre-consensus, I don't know, about who I was too.
Yeah, so she already assumed
Everybody
who she was.
does that.
Okay,
Everyone does that.
So she met her and she had, okay, so when I say this, I don't mean, she had purple hair.
I had
Not
like little pieces
yes, like strands.
underneath my hair.
So it wasn't like purple hair, like she was like some crazy punk rock or goth girl or something like that. Not at all. It actually looked really pretty with her blonde hair. She had like these streaks and it looked really good. So my mom, right off the bat, she had just had it with, me priorly dating just. Well, I've never dated anyone that was like, on that spectrum. Yes, they were probably not the best humans, but the spectrum wasn't that look. So in her eyes too, she's like, this is probably not the best way to start out with a girl with streaks and just already making assumptions, she's too young, all of this stuff. And she wasn't very fond of friend A.
Yeah.
Okay, so she associated you with that and
Yeah.
thought that you were all a part of the same group line. And she was like, it's not a good thing for you, I think, right now.
Right.
But when she saw how different you were and that you weren't,
I wasn't a part of
that
friend A's group.
yes, she's like, oh,
Yeah.
I got this wrong. Mm-hmm. It worked out.
It did.
So
Okay, so we will leave off. So we got together in July, okay?
right.
And we should tell them about like how you asked me to be your girlfriend and all that. It was so cute.
Okay.
Um,
okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There is a
and
lot.
then in August, we got tattoos.
Oh boy.
Our initials.
yeah.
Okay, that's a little
Well, let's leave it
intense.
for that one because
Yeah.
it is funny. Yours you could get away with if anything happened.
Yes, I
Mine,
can.
I'm screwed.
Not really. You could use the B for something else.
We'll get into that
Yeah.
on the next segment. Because
Yeah. Stay tuned for part two of this conversation.
Because it does get juicy.
Yeah,
it does get good.
Juicy.
It gets interesting.
Yeah.
We could go into
But we'll leave
a
you
few
on a
different
cliffhanger.
things. Yeah, because it gets a little rocky, but good.
Yeah.
Ultimately ends good. So, but guys, thank you for tuning in on another episode with us. Again, we love you so much. We can't express how thankful we are for you guys listening in. And please, if you guys can, share this with people. Go to our YouTube if you're watching on YouTube.
Yeah, subscribe.
Hit the notification button.
Follow us on Spotify.
Please add us on Spotify if you guys are on the go. And stay tuned. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok. We always post updates there and cool little questions that we'd like to find out for our next episodes and stuff. But on that note, what would you like to tell them? Leave them off with? She always panics on these portions.
I do.
Like the
I feel like
beginning
you
and
put me on the
outros,
spot.
she
I'm like, I don't
panics.
know. Like, I feel like I have to have like a signature thing, but I just don't.
We'll get you one.
So
if anybody can find a good signature for her by watching her, leave it in the comments and let's see if we can pull off a signature move for Brittany. But I'll end it for us today.
Perfect.
All right. We love you guys. And like I
Peace
always
out.
say, peace out.